the Central Bank of Nigeria has imposed a fresh cash withdrawal limit on individuals and organizations, which takes effect from January 9, 2023, according to the new memo to bank issued on Tuesday and signed by the Director of Banking and Supervision, Haruna B. Mustafa. Individual will only be able to withdraw 100,000 naira per week from over-the-counter point-of-sale machine and automated teller machine with ATM. Organization can access 500,000 per week. Bank have also been directed to load only 200 naira note and lower denomination into their ATM. Joyce. Wow, that's what Nigerians wake up with. Like, it's just like a surprise. And then this is what the CBN is dishing out. Even though, yes, we know there is Naira design, there is issue of trying to curtail the excess money that is outside the banking system, which is almost like over 2.7 is outside the banking services, banking hall, out of 3.2 trillion, you know, that the central bank supposed to control, you know, because that's one of the primary responsibility of the bank is to control the flow of cash. It's saddled with the responsibility of monitoring how cash, you know, is being used in this country. And this is the policy that they are bringing. But even though I know there are so many concerns that Nigerians raise on that particular, on this particular memo that is out. But before we go into it, if you're watching us, please do us this favor. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, Ekwa TV International. Just do well to just tell us how you feel concerning this particular policy. You know, in this show, what we discuss issues that Nigerians are raising concern, and we bring them here, even though not all have been responded by the the people that are involved. But we can categorically tell you that most of the questions that we raise here, we normally see those that are concerned, you know, trying to respond to them. So I just encourage you to follow us, even as we see some of the response to people that are really concerned from the questions that we raise. My name is Sambo Solomon, and Joyce Jakada is with me. And then today we'll just beam our light on this particular issue. So just follow us. The beauty of this program is because we do it together. So please stick to Ekwa TV International. Joyce.
Well, like you said, we woke up to this news that amidst the issue of Naira redesign, CBN have come out to limit cash withdrawal. And like I will always say, the media is the watchdog of the society, and it is our responsibility to bridge the gap between the government and the people, to bring the thought of the people to bear, their concern, their challenges. We should bring it to the fore so that the people saddle the responsibility of meeting some of these needs and taking responsibility will do that. You will recall that it was on October 26th that the CBN governor, talking about Godwin Emefiele, came out to announce the issue of redesigning the Naira notes. And he has come up to tell us that one of the reasons was because more than half of the money in Nigeria was outside the bank. And if you ask me, it will only be irresponsibility on the part of the CBN to fold its arms while when you are having 2.7 trillion naira out of 3.2 trillion naira outside of the bank. And it is only seen for any Apex bank to ensure that it controls the money that is in circulation, and why they brought about the issue of redesigning so that it can take charge of this money that is actually in circulation. And then immediately we saw how that people reacted to it and all of that, but they have come out to explain some of the reasons how that is going to help in curbing even issues of insecurity, ransom payments, amongst others. And Nigerians have woke up to another news, which is limiting of cash withdrawals for individuals, 100,000 naira weekly, and for corporate organization 500,000 naira weekly. And if you are to do daily withdrawal, it's restricted to 20,000. That's ATM or even on POS. So it's worthy to note that in this new policy, which is to take effect from the 9th of January 2023, restrict individuals to 100,000, corporate withdrawals to 500,000 weekly, daily POS withdrawal pegged at 20,000 naira, ATM 100,000 naira weekly. And they say third-party checks above 50,000 is not eligible for OTC payment. Also urges customer to use e-naira, other digital payment channels, and they warn bank against policy violation. So if you see all of these, some will start raising concern, and especially business owners. Wow, how would you restrict payment to just cash withdrawal to just 100,000 or 500,000 naira? And if you want to withdraw more than that, there's actually 5% on individual and then 10% on corporate body. So it means that you can actually withdraw more than that, more than the 100,000, 500,000 respectively, but there is charges that is going to attract. And they also say in a pressing situation like compelling circumstances, individual can withdraw 5 million or even 10 million, but it is going to be subject to some procedures. There will definitely be charges. Like I said, in principle, it is great. But I want to ask the question, are we ready for this? Is our economy ready for this? Technologically, do we have the strength? We've had instances where, because they are saying that Nigerians can make use of the e-payment, like take advantage of other platforms. You can use the e-transfer, you can use the OTP, like other short codes amongst others, so patronize that. But even before now, we've always have challenges with some of these platforms. Have you not transferred money, and then the person will tell you, I'm yet to receive, and then bank have debited you, and it will take like days before you get your money back. What if that person is in a pressing need? And now we are saying that monies, I'm talking for business owners now. It has to, you should prioritize other means. So technologically, are we ready for this? That's the question. It's going to bring restriction on business, if you ask me, because if I go to the market today and I need to buy something from the average market seller, and then I am supposed to pay, and probably I cannot exceed that amount, 20,000 per day, and what I'm supposed to acquire is going to cost more than that 20,000 naira. So what happens? Because the woman doesn't have another alternative, it means I have to go. At the end of the day, the market economy will be affected at large. So average Nigeria, if you ask me, are the ones, as good as this policy is, because one of the reasons they said is to control vote buying. Like I've had analysts talk about the fact that yes, it's to control vote buying and even money in circulation. It is a good one if you ask me, but what about the average Nigeria? Did we even try to consult with business owners before coming up with these policies? Like I said, we have over 42 millions Nigerians that are living in rural areas, and these people, these 42 millions I'm talking about, are the ones that don't have access to banking services. So if this person that is coming, a header coming out from that remote village with about 4-5 cows, and he wants to sell, and the buyer does not have access to that amount of money in a day, what happens? So I think it's going to cripple the business at the end of the day, or some people might end up losing. So can we give more time? Can we check our technologies? Are all these things in place that is even going to make, have we done more? I think more sensitization should also be done, because we cannot just come up with policies and just fold our arms. People need to be aware. Enlightenment should be done. So I think the Apex Bank have a lot to do in terms of sensitization. So there should be more accommodating for people. People need time. And when they said that in a more compelling situation, about you can withdraw, individual can withdraw 5 million, 10 million naira, but there are charges, and then it has to go through some procedures. Will the officials that are in charge of that responsibility be readily available when that business owner or individual needs that money, and in a very compelling situation, will they be available? So I think these are questions and these are areas we need to look into. And I think if we do that, it's going to be helpful, rather than just coming up with policies and then just leaving the average Nigerians to suffer to it. So in principle, great. But in practice and in reality, I think we need to do more.
Yeah, I so much agree with you. Well, you really break it to smaller particles that our viewer out there can really swallow, can digest, and then understand where these policies are taking us. Like you rightly said, very, very wonderful policy. We see the Apex Bank doing what is being enshrined in the Constitution for them today to do. They are following all the procedures. They are not breaking any law. What they are doing is right. I feel even from the issue of Naira design, till now, the new memo that is coming concerning the withdrawal, you will see they're acting based on what the law says. They are not breaching any law. But like you rightly said, what about sensitization? What are the mechanisms, put in place to sensitize people? You're talking about over 40 million people that doesn't have
2 million that don't have access
42
to bank services
that don't even have
rural
access. Someone is a farmer. People farm over 1,000 bags of rice, beans, sorghum, millet, and the rest. And what they know is bring your cash and take the bags. You understand? So how are we going to accommodate people like that? You're talking of e-payment, those platforms, are they accommodating? Like you mentioned the issue of challenges that we have with even these short codes that you use for some little transaction here and there. I transfer money like last week almost twice in a place that I cannot use even the POS. I was stranded. And then I have to come to Jos now to contact my bank. And then they are giving me 14 working days. You get it. And then you look at the stress, what you are supposed to do already is being hindered. Now you are somewhere. What do you do? So yes, the policy, very wonderful. They talked about issue of politicians looking forward to 2023 election. They want to curtail so many excesses of the politicians. Even before now, some of the accusation is the finger is pointing towards the politicians because they believe that some of them stock money, in septic tanks, and name them. And the target is 2023 election, where money will exchange hands, in convincing people or buying people conscience, and the rest. Because during election, that's when we see real extravagant spending when it comes to issue of money exchanging hand. Because you saw what happened during the primaries, But now, looking at it, yes, you are targeting these people. There's another issue of bandit collecting ransom. In this country, we saw a situation whereby a bishop was kidnapped and they went and paid ransom, 100 million cash. But the questions that Nigerians are asking, yes, there was somebody that tweeted, concerning First Lady. That guy was stressed. And you can imagine the kind of hillocks that was sent to him to trust the guy. During NSAS, we know how people that were supporting the youth then, that were sending money for them to buy certain things that were tracked and even, shut down their bank account. You understand? So if we have those technology in place that we can trace such people, don't you think by that alone we can trace where money is going that is not supposed to? Yes. And what about the people that are working, the workers in the bank? Some of this money, whatever that you talk about, they connive with them. because they will tell you, I have a way to go about it. How much do you want and how much is my cut? Like the issue of currency that someone was talking. And I saw somebody raising an argument and he said, what are you saying? Even these politicians that you are saying, the might and whatever of this country, they can just put a call.
Well, what is notable about this policy, Sambo Solomon, is the fact that the Apex Bank have made it clear that any bank that violates this, because I think they are really strict and serious about this policy, and they say any bank that violates it, there's going to be strict punishment. But I think what is most important is that the Apex banks should spell out clearly, we should see transparency, they should spell out what is going to be the punishment so that everybody will be aware of it, so that it won't be an issue of, oh, because this bank is this and this, or just trying to come up with some strangers punishment for people who do not deserve anything. So if there is a punishment, can you spell it out so that the banks can also know that, yes, if you go against this, if you connive with anybody to withdraw more than what is expected and all, this is the punishment that is going. And I think if they do it, then it's going to be good and it will go a long way. And quickly, you recall that yesterday we started a conversation about the presidential candidates of the People's All Progressive Congress, APC, talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He appeared in Chatham House in London, and that's where he took his campaign too. And it was barely 24 hours after the Arise TV presidential series, where people accuse him of always dodging, saying that because maybe he cannot talk or he cannot answer questions, that's why he's always shying away from some of these things. But in less than 24 hours, we saw him in Chatham House, and he over about 15 minutes, he used to talk about, while delivering a lecture on 2023 election, the economy, security, and even foreign policy, he came out with beautiful policies, if you ask me, beautiful presentation for that 15 minutes, which was obviously written and pre-recorded. And then Nigerians will tell you that whenever you listen to some of these presidential candidates come up with manifestos, it is so good to hear brilliant ideas coming from all of them. But what is more important is the implementation. And apart from that, leadership have continued to be a problem. And then after that beautiful presentation, we saw how questions were thrown to the presidential candidates of the All Progressive Congress. And then Nigerians were expecting this is a time for us to hear him speak intelligently on what he's going to do, how he's going to address issues from economy to security, education, healthcare, poverty eradication, and even unemployment, that his party, APC, promised 27 million people job opportunity. What is he going to do? Because that 27 million, I don't know where they are, if actually they've gotten the job or not. We are waiting for the MBS to release statistics of unemployed people in the country. Maybe we just oppose it and see if the party did well or not. So while questions were thrown at him, he was delegating. In fact, on the issue of security, he delegated the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to talk about that. And then on the issue of health, he was also delegating. So he delegated even the former commissioner of Lagos State to also speak, and then Nigerians reacted to it like, how would you delegate? You are the one that is going to be on the ballot at the end of the day. Why throw questions to others? If for nothing, you should have an idea about everything that is happening in the nation. Yes, even if we don't expect you to give us deeper insight, but at least you should have an idea everything. Why delegate? Some people have come out to quote Section 5 of the Nigeria 1999 Constitution, saying that the president can actually relegate duties to people, but he's not yet a president. He's just a candidate. And as a candidate, you are just like someone that is going in for exams. And then imagine going in for exams and asking somebody to come and answer a question for you. Of course, it becomes malpractice. So Nigerians have reacted to it, and I would like us to quickly go through some of the tweets that came from Nigerians. Maybe when we go through the tweets, we are going to have their reaction. The first one is from Avio, and he said, "This is most shameful. Tinubu is the one contesting for the position of which that meeting was held. This is not a team role. There's no team. He is the presidential candidate, a single role for which he must show absolute responsibility in capacity." That one is from Avio. We have Oba EC, and he said, "Mrs. Edu on his health." That's a question. Wonderment. Baja on defense pact between Nigeria and UK. strange things are happening. That's what Oba is saying. And then Mindset, we have Tinubu asked El-Rufai to speak for him on security at Chatham House. The same El-Rufai who could not protect Kaduna State from terrorism. I weep for Nigeria. And we also have one from Chud. He said Tinubu delegated questions to his aides at Chatham House because he's scared of giving wrong answers that will bite him later. Chatham House was filled with Tinubu supporters instead of intellectuals who want to ask questions about his plans for Nigeria. International disgrace, Chud said. And we have I Am Sonny. He said, God, please remember Nigeria for the last time. He don't read. Oh. So, like, these were reactions for Nigerians, if you ask me, and these are concerns. Why? I was saying it yesterday, the numbers of governors that I saw, like seven serving governors, two ex-governors. And I was asking, what about their primary responsibility to their states? These were the people, amongst others, members of National Assembly and the APC Presidential Council. Like I asked, why throw questions when you are the one on the ballot? It was an opportunity. People have accused him for being unable to stand for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, even though we saw him in Just and he stood for about an hour to talk, which was like a way of proving what people said wrong. So if people have been saying you've been shying away from talking, answering questions, can we see you? It was an opportunity. Somebody said international disgrace, because once you go outside the shores of Nigeria, you're representing your country. So whatever you do represents Nigeria. Have you seen other presidential candidates from other climes when asked questions, the delegates? Like, no, we've not seen that before. So if someone is coming out to vie for a position, Nigerians expect you to intelligently come out to tell them how you are going to address issues that is bordering on security, education, poverty, healthcare, human capital, even unemployment. When it comes to security, the presidential candidate, if eventually elected, he's the commander-in-chief, and everything about security ends at his own table. It is not something that you delegate. So like one of the tweets read, El-Rufai, has he been able to deal with the issue of insecurity in Kaduna State? Can we begin to see people talk about issues, answer questions? I don't know your take on this.
It is really funny, you know, like one of the guy that tweeted, you know, he said he wept for Nigeria. And if you look at how things are going, I will tell you, if your senses are complete, like, and they are functioning, definitely what you will do is to weep for Nigeria, because the angle and the way we are going, it doesn't seem like we have learned from our lessons.
I think Nigerians have learned. Maybe the leaders have not learned.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, because the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, Joyce, is because already they have that entitlement that Nigeria belongs to them. I'm talking directly to them. They have that entitlement that Nigeria belongs to them. That's why they can afford. You are just so lucky that he didn't even delegate maybe one of the pets there to talk on your behalf as a Nigerian, because to a certain extent, I think some of our leaders, that's how they see us. They don't even believe that we exist. They are just using our number to manipulate for their own selfish reason. Because if you see somebody that is saying he wants to represent you, and the way he talk, and when you sit down and then listen to the person, then chew whatever and trying to bring out what the person automatically is, either the person is telling you are a fool or you doesn't exist. So, but these are the things that we are trying to bring out. We are saying when these people are talking, Nigerians should follow them, and we are so happy because you are seeing this criticism. They are how would I put it? They are constructive. They are constructive. And that's how we want to go, so that we will know truly who are the people that have this nation at heart, so that we will vote them from the state assembly to the top. You can't you can't be delegating questions. You can't be dodging Nigerians simply because you feel there are some questions that are being thrown to you, maybe just to make you feel inferior. No. If you have the capacity, come on, you should be able to answer any question from anybody. If you think you can answer questions from journalists abroad, be rest assured that some of Nigerian journalists, they are looking up to even those journalists out there. So if you can answer questions from journalists abroad, I think you should answer questions from journalists that are within, because they even know the terrain. So they can ask you critical questions that you even answer them. So why are you dodging? Because the way the things, the game is playing is more like you are dodging. Name all these presidential candidates, you know, from Konkoso, Obi, Atiku, and Tinubu, who delegate questions to even their spokesperson. Who? The spokespeople only respond to issues that spring up from the discussions of their principal officers. And that's what we want to see. We don't want to see you talking from outside and saying this is what you want to do. Even if you had to delegate, come on, will you tell El-Rufai to talk to me about security, what you want to do? Like I said yesterday, I mentioned it. I said, I didn't find it funny because you are selling yourself as my president. So talk to me, because I'm expecting is what you want to do. Then you mentioned the issue of delegating, sharing responsibilities to people. Is what I want to do. If I hire you, I will tell you, Joyce, this is what I want you to do.
Well, they have come out to say that it is just teamwork. Maybe Nigerians are misunderstanding that. But like I said earlier on, you can't start telling us about teamwork when you are the one that will definitely be on the ballot. So there are a lot of expectations.
Yes.
Like I said, there have been a lot of accusations on the fact that he's been shying away from issues, questions that when that's why he has not appeared.
Joyce, there are videos of the same person that is talking about security. That's El-Rufai, that he is telling the world that Tinubu is tired, he should go and retire and rest.
You know, politicians, like I will always say, our politics is filled with unprincipled people, people that will say yes today, tomorrow they will say another thing. For the presidential candidate of the APC, like I will say, it was an opportunity for him to actually prove himself, even internationally, not just abroad. So I don't know why he has to shy away from that opportunity to sell himself, sell his vision, his mission. I don't know why you have to boggle the opportunity by asking people questions. Well, Nigerians are looking 2023 is just by the corner. I don't know what it means to you, but like I'll always say, it matters a lot and we should take it with every seriousness. What we should be looking at is candidates who will be campaigning with ideas, candidates who have vision, candidates who show commitment to nation building. These are people that we should be looking for, people who have the fear of God. And our time is fast spent. We need to go.
Yes.
Like I'll always say, thank you for doing this with me. Great analysis as always. We'll be here tomorrow, God's willing.
Sure.
And to our viewers, thank you for following us. Thank you for all your comments, your likes. We really appreciate. Until we come your way tomorrow, same time, you have a blessed day.